Welcome back to the We More South Sportscast, episode 13. This is our third one in 3 days, so we're pretty excited. Today we've got girls and guys track and field. You guys just want to introduce yourselves? Don't know why.
I'm Grace McBobby. I'm a senior sprinter.
I'm Cece Holsgetter. I'm a senior sprinter.
I'm Piper Lindsay. I'm a senior sprinter.
I'm Zach Marcico. I'm a senior thrower.
And I'm Luke Richards, and I'm a senior pole vaulter. You guys know me.
Yeah, Luke is taking the role of guest today, like Carter did with tennis yesterday.
Let's start it off. Just kind of describe the sport of track and field to someone that doesn't really know it well, because they might know it, but give us the rundown.
Well, it's a lot of little different sports, basically.
Yeah, that's a good way to put
Yeah, there's definitely something for everybody. There's a lot of very different races that you can run. There's distance, sprints, throwing, jumps. There's anything. So it doesn't matter. It's not like a sport where you have to be really tall or built, anything like that. There's something for everybody, which is what makes it really fun.
Well put. Also, I want to call out Cece. This is Cece's second time on the cast.
Yes, it is.
She's returning from tennis, which we're in a better production right now
Okay,
than the four of us in my car with audio.
It was like out the windows. It was like a hot date.
It was. Yeah, we were sitting in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Oh,
windows
man.
down and super-
Didn't Peter Schmerald start his car? Or
Somebody
something?
had a loud car. But anyways, you guys have sectionals coming up this week. You guys already had sectionals. Do you want to walk us through how that went and then how state, when and where everything is?
Yeah, sectionals went really well. We qualified the 4x1, 4x2, and 4x4 relays, and then we have a thrower, an 800-meter runner, and Piper's doing the 300 hurdles. So we are competing on Friday and then hopefully make it to finals on Saturday.
At Eastern? Is everything at Eastern?
Eastern
Yeah,
Illinois,
yeah.
Big Blue Track.
We had a conference at home actually last Friday, and we did pretty well. We got second to Batavia, but we're going against them again in sectionals. So all the fresh soft guys are gone now, and it's just top two varsity for tomorrow at St. Charles North. Starts at 4:30 if anyone wants to come.
Field events at 4:30, running
Yeah.
events at 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we did lose to Batavia at conference, but they
So
are.
do we.
I think they're the number one team in the state.
Yeah,
Are they not?
They're very good this year.
Both
They're up
teams
there.
are very good.
We beat
Yeah.
St. Charles North and Lake Park, and they were ranked. They were both top 10 in the state. So
Interesting.
Tigers on the come up,
exactly.
Yeah.
Sir.
Like the bamboo.
like the bamboo.
Do you care to share?
Yeah.
So-
you could describe.
There's a certain kind of bamboo. I'll give backstory before this. Our coach Culpepper, is known for his mannerisms,
Long-winded speeches.
speeches, just about these random things. But he's so good at speaking. I think his dad's a preacher,
Yeah.
right?
He's
So
really
he's got it in his blood, and so he takes these random topics and makes them super inspirational speeches. So I'm gonna butcher this one because I can't do it like he does. But the story is there's this certain species of bamboo that grows in China or something, and you plant it, it's a seedling, and it's just a seedling, and you water it every day for 4 years or something, and it doesn't grow at all. It's same height, same everything. You just keep watering it daily, and then one day out of nowhere, this thing just shoots up, grows 5 feet a day or something, and it's 50 feet high, this huge piece of grass, because bamboo's grass, And so the key, that's what Culpepper basically related to us, because we've been putting in the work for 4 years or however long it's been. Now's the time to shoot up.
We are the bamboo.
We are the bamboo.
I feel like DJ might have brought that up last year with the track guys. I don't know. I feel like I've heard
he definitely
DJ.
heard that speech.
Yeah.
And that's moving.
Really inspirational.
Do you guys want to go down? Tell us, how did you get into track in the first place?
I have been conditioned into this role my whole life. My dad was the head track coach at Wheaton North, and so when I was little, I would always go to the track meets and stuff. So I always knew I would do track, and I'm just super thankful that I love the team, and it's a great sport.
I started in middle school mostly because everyone did, and it was just something you do. And then I ended up really liking it. And then in high school, I didn't have another spring sport, and I knew I loved track, so I decided to come out. And then my first year, I loved it, so I came back.
Yeah, same. I started in middle school. I just did it because I thought relays and gym were like so much fun, and I was like, if I could do this in a sport, it's so cool. And then I think her name is Miss Prozek. She was like, why don't you like jump over a hurdle? And I was like, okay. And then I did it, and I've been hurdling for 6 years now. But yeah, that's how I got into it. And I remember at like conference, like middle school year, I like finished hurdles and I placed second. And like Harvey came up to me and shook my hand and he was like, "I'll see you next year." And I was like, "Okay."
It's a nice recruiting pitch.
Yeah, no, it was great, and it convinced me to stay in it.
So basically, I started in 6th grade, which kind of ties into like cross country. I joined cross country. Figured out very quickly that I hated running, mostly because I was a bigger guy and I would always get last. And then 7th grade, I wanted to do a sport, but I didn't know what to do. Just something where I didn't have to run. And the middle schools don't have a ton of sports, so I just chose track. And then I decided to throw because it was something that you didn't really need to run. You just throw heavy objects.
Brilliantly
lift
lazy.
weights. Yeah. So,
Brilliantly lazy.
yeah, exactly. And then I was pretty good at it in high school, so I just kept going, and now I love it.
See, I was conflicted because I did middle school track as well. Middle school track was okay. I was like hurt for most of the year. I get hurt a lot. I'm like mad injury prone for some reason.
Made of glass.
Yeah, basically.
That's me too.
But so I did track in middle school, but I had also been playing baseball since I was 5. I've played baseball my entire life. And so I get to freshman year, like spring season, I have to choose between track or baseball. And like, obviously I didn't really know what to pick. And I remember he was a sophomore at the time. So class of 2021, Kyle Prout, he came up to me during, I can't remember. It was like I think it was chemistry. And he's like, hey, you should do track. You should try pole vaulting. And I'm like, what is that? I don't even know what this thing is. And he's like, just come to a practice. Just like, if you don't like it, you can go. And then I'm like, okay, sure, whatever. It's worth a shot. So I go and I try it out, and it kind of sticks, and I enjoy it. So that's how I got into it, basically.
You went to state your freshman year, right? As an alternate.
As an alternate. So no, I didn't deserve to go to state. But what happened was one of the guys who was going to like go to state got sick or something, and he just wanted to go to graduation instead because he wasn't going to do well at state. So Culpepper comes up and he's like, hey, you want to come to state with us? Because they had no open spot.
Joe broke his ankle that year too.
Yeah, that was Joe Ives broke his ankle that year. Joe qualified for state, but then he broke his ankle, so he didn't go. And then they took Kamaje instead of Joe. And then Kyle got sick, and so they took me instead of Naz. So that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
You want the next question?
Sure. Do you guys have any favorite track or South track memories? Anything that sticks out? I know it's hard to boil it down to one specific moment.
I think for me, it was definitely breaking the school record this year. That was pretty crazy because it was a dual meet against Lake Park, and it was just, we just kind of went, and then we looked up at the scoreboard, and it was 49.0, and I just looked at there, and I was like, oh, we like qualified for state. Like we already like hit the qualifying standard, and then they like came up and they're like, that was a school record, and we all kind of were just like, oh, like what? Like we did not even think it was that good, but.
Sorry, what was the event?
4x1. Yeah. So, yeah, but 3 of us were in it, and then this girl Nora, and yeah, I think that was one of my favorite memories, for sure.
I think definitely qualifying for state, because every time it's just like,
Yeah.
it's just a really good feeling, like the relief, and then like all your hard work paying off, and then a lot of just not even necessarily competing moments, just moments with the team and like bonding, because that's really fun, because it's such a big team. There's so many people.
Yeah, state is super fun. Like we get to go down for like 2 nights and just with all your friends. Like it's like the whole thing is super fun.
Yeah, it's super basic, but I'm gonna have to say just about the same thing. Last year, I was out for the entire season, and then I like was finally okay. Like I wasn't even good at this point, but I was okay enough to like jump at conference. And so I jumped at conference, and I kind of like hurt myself a little bit. So I was like, should I really even compete at sectionals? I was like, is it even worth it? I'm just gonna hurt myself more. And then like Culpepper comes up and he's like, yeah, you're jumping at sectionals. I don't care. And I mean,
Treating you like a racehorse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and I mean, it was like,
Cool.
it was brutal, kind of mean, but like it worked. And so I pulled state qualifying height.
Well, you just hit the height you needed to. You called
Exactly.
it, right?
Well, yeah. which was also my PR at the time. So
Yeah.
it was pretty high.
Yeah.
And so jumped that at sectionals like out of nowhere, and then went to state. I did fine at state, but just the whole experience was so fun.
So mine's a little different because unlike everyone else here, I haven't been to state yet.
But
this is the
it's
year.
my first time.
This is the year.
So my favorite moment was just because this kind of have a little bit of a backstory. So last year at sectionals, I missed state by like 6-8 inches. It was something like that. It was really short. So I like worked really hard in the off season and I was getting ready for indoor. And so I worked really hard in indoor. And so my like favorite moment was like at the end of indoor. I like checked the rankings once and I was like top 100 in the country. So I realized like it all was worth it. And I qualified for state in indoor too. So that's like my favorite moment when I checked that.
It's inspiring. Going to work and
That's right.
it's like some Walter Payton stuff. Just grinding it out over the summer.
You touched on underclassmen a little bit. Can you guys talk about the future of your programs respectfully? Who's to look out for in the future?
We got Nora Feeweaker, who's a junior, already 2-time All-State athlete. So super excited to see what she can do like individually aside from the relays. And then we have just a bunch of freshmen. Our JV team like wins conference every time. And so we just like, they have such a good atmosphere. We're super excited to see what they do.
Yeah, what's it looking like for us? We have, let's see. There was a freshman last year, so he's a sophomore now. His name's Ethan Campbell.
Yeah, he's good.
He's quick. He's plays
Right.
soccer too.
The hurdler,
Braylon.
Braylon Baines is a
good.
freshman. He's picking up on it very quickly.
His
He's
form is incredible.
he's teaching himself how to hurdle, and it's working really
Yeah,
well
yeah,
for
The
him.
fact that he's like teaching himself and he can 3 stuff already is brilliant.
He's good.
Dejan, right?
Dejan is really fast. He's a sophomore.
There's a couple of good throwers, Connor Archer and Aaron Vivar. They're both like they have a lot of potential, so they're going to be good when they're juniors and seniors. I can see it.
We had a 10-foot pole vaulter too as a freshman.
Yeah,
So
that's insane.
Yeah.
He's built. He should be a thrower.
he's too heavy to pull ball. this dude's jacked. His name's Luke Kennedy, and he's probably 170 pounds. Like he's pure muscle,
Yeah,
which is awesome. But like to pole vault, you need to be as light as possible.
I remember Brack like avoiding to drink water and stuff like days before weigh-ins so he could use his pole.
It was sectionals last year. So the rule is every pole, like there's a lot of different like sizes of pole, and they all have a little weight index, and you can't weigh more than that weight index.
No, you're fine.
We
You're
can't
fine.
see
We got
you,
the-
but
we got
we
the
got your
audio.
audio.
So
Yeah.
you can't like if you weigh more than the weight index, you can't use your pole, or else it could break. It's like a safety thing. So Brock, who's a senior this year, goes to sectionals last year, and he shows up at sectionals, and I think he's 3 pounds over his weight index. So the entire morning, this is like 95-degree day. We had to delay the meet because it was so hot. We had to wait for the track to cool down. And so this guy's like jogging laps in his sweats before the meet, and he weighs in, and like he's worried because those are the only poles he has. If he doesn't have it, he has to jump on like some random pole, and it's not gonna end well. And this dude loses 4 pounds, like from the span of the morning
Oh my God.
to I don't know 10 o'clock.
he wore his full tracksuit
He wore-
the entire
Yeah.
time. I saw him
God.
spitting on the ground.
He was
trying to
spitting.
lose weight. it was funny.
Just dedication.
That's
Shout out
dedication
Brock
right
Joyce.
there. Shout out Brock Joyce. And actually, he's maybe in a similar situation this year. So we will see how that one goes. Good luck, Brock.
Just do the same thing you did last time.
I don't know. I don't know if that's healthy. Like,
It
yeah.
probably isn't, but last year he did PR at
Exactly.
sectionals. So
That's all that matters.
yeah.
I guess.
Do you guys want to talk a little bit about? So obviously you win an event. That's easy to tell. But how does like a team win a? Like how do you win a meet?
So every event, there's I don't know how many events are there.
You want to hop? Hold on.
Or-
You want to hop in the
Yeah.
camera just so people can
So you want to see?
Is there like
see my pretty
12 or
face?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, there's 12 or 13 events, something like that. And every event is scored like separately. First place gets 10 points, second gets 8, third gets 6th, and then the next 5 get 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So top 8 score usually, except at state when the top 9 score. But so top 8 score, and then for every like place you get, let's say I get 3rd place, then I get 6 points for my team in that event, and then all the events combine and all the team points get added together, and at the end, whichever team has the most points wins.
But it's also like really interesting how like no meet's the same because depending on your competition, you're not always going to score the same amount of points each time. So like the state meet is completely different because you're going against the best of the best. It's like even if you score like 100 points, you might get second or like third at a meet. But at the state meet, if you score like 40 points, that could be first place. So it's completely different.
Kind of adding on to that, do you guys want to touch on like the order of events? Like to me, it just seems like the most just wacky, random
there's a
order
reason.
of events.
Yeah.
Like
What is the reason? 'Cause I don't
We
know
joke
what
with
the
Harvey
reason is.
that the reason that there's like distance races is just so the sprints get a break in between. Like I'm not kidding.
Is that
But
just
if
like
you think about
is that
it,
just a
it's
Harvey
true.
mannerism,
To,
or
like,
is like
and Harvey's like, no, it's not. But yeah, because like I'm trying to even think of the order. So it's like 4x8, 4x1, 100 hurdles,
Kind of
2
alternates,
miles,
like
100 hurdles,
sprints then distance.
Yeah. open
but-
100.
I'm not completely
800.
sure how they decided.
Yeah, I don't know how they decided that order. It's like a fun order though because then you have like the 4x4 at the end, and that's really fun.
Yeah, splitting the relays up makes it really exciting.
Yeah.
And then all the field events just go on. Like
They just
Yeah,
do
you
it.
guys
Real
are just,
events
are on.
yeah. Going to watch you guys is the hardest thing in the world.
Oh, I know, because I always
show
like
up
tell
whenever.
like people always ask me when to come watch, and like I genuinely don't know.
sometime between 4 and 10 o'clock.
Exactly.
Yeah.
do you feel disrespected?
No.
As field events?
It's not even that.
I mean,
Maybe a little bit.
yeah.
How do you feel about field events?
Well, I mean, obviously some of them throwing primarily is not exactly the most interesting to watch for some people if you don't really know the sport. So I get why like running gets the most attention. It's also like I've talked to people, they don't even know what like shot put or discus is, and they're also like tucked away. So it's not that we deserve respect. It's just like how the sport's created. We don't get as much attention as a lot of the other events.
But then again, you got like the 2-mile race, and it's
Yeah.
just running 8 laps.
Exactly, which I think is pretty boring.
I feel
Yeah,
like that's
I don't
pretty
understand
boring.
how people do that.
I'm need
But I
water.
respect it. I respect it.
I'm need
Okay,
a water
Mr.
break
Brennan,
halfway through.
we're putting you on the hot seat now. You said you're not much of a fan of track. You guys convinced him.
I mean, picking up off of Zach's response earlier, like you joined track and field so you could find an event where you didn't have to run.
Yeah.
And that's my whole life. I'm like, I hate running. Like, I just want to avoid running. I don't remember the last time I ran a mile. So, I mean, I just kind of find it hard to get invested in a sport as a spectator when there's so many other good sports to watch. Like basketball and baseball and girls lacrosse. Shameless plug.
Okay.
All right.
Shameless plug.
Like we just said, if it's just the running that you hate, there's so much more than just running.
Like
Obviously.
Imagine you
Pole
pole
vaulting.
vaulting, Mr. Brennan.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just kind of have PTSD coming in to the show today, getting run over by almost a dozen minivans from families that are coming to see their kids run in a middle school track meet here at Wheat Warrenville South. So I don't know. It attracts a mass of people, and it always seems like it's unorganized, and there's like 20 different heats for 100 meters, and it's like, I don't know. Let's give everybody a participation trophy and get them off the track.
Whoa.
Yeah.
This is probably the most heated the cast has
Yeah.
ever
Whoa.
God.
Hey, but hey, Carter, you asked for it.
Hey, yeah.
Grace, what were you
This is good
saying?
TV.
No, I was just gonna say like to watch an Olympic 400, like that's
Yeah.
intense. Like you get into that, and like if there's two people like going at it and like they run the fastest they've ever run, like
Yeah, maybe you just need to watch a
never-
good track meet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come to me
There are some bad track meets. We will, yeah,
Yeah.
that's
There
true.
are
But like
plenty of
our
bad
track meets
track
are run amazing. I don't know about the boys, but ours are.
The
Ours
The
are.
boys are usually pretty good. At least the home ones. The away meets
Oh,
are
away
terrible.
meets
Those are
always
away
the
meets.
top.
They're just-
Yeah. And we're like pretty good this year too, so it's like fun to watch. We won county a couple weeks ago, and the girls you guys got what in sectionals?
Third.
Third in
Yeah,
sectionals.
that's good. That's really
Yeah.
good.
But no,
like,
it was
one of the
third
hardest
out of
sectionals.
a
Yeah.
ton of teams. So.
Mhm.
All right, well, with the controversy, we gotta call out Michael Atkins too. No,
So-
Mike was supposed to join us on the cast, and he went home to eat. That was his reason, is he had to eat.
You can survive
After
like
Okay,
practice.
sectionals is stressful though. Like
That
you're
is
trying to
true.
qualify for state, like you don't want to mess
Real.
with your routine.
Yeah.
No, and yes, obviously, I will make fun of Michael till the day I die for doing that.
Right.
But he's probably the most dedicated athlete I've ever met. He like works 24/7. Every part of his day is dedicated to track and field or cross country or whatever season. he's
Right.
running.
Running.
Yeah, it's just running.
Yeah.
It's insane.
And he's gonna be Eastern Illinois Panther.
He
So
is
Yeah.
committed.
On that big blue
Yeah.
track.
he's well acquainted with
College.
Charleston, Illinois, right?
Yeah.
Michael will probably score us points at state,
Yeah, so we can poke fun at him, but
so we can poke fun.
that's
at
why
him,
we wanted him on the
but
cast.
we respect you for
'cause,
going
yes.
home to eat your oats, Michael.
I'm working for watch.
You guys want to shout out?
He'll watch
those
while eating his
kids
oats.
over there in the
Oh.
hallway. You guys want to shout out them?
Yeah, some
Oh
underage.
my god, we only have one left.
We've got some groupies. We got
Just
some
got
groupies.
Jana left. She's one of the sophomores, the promising sophomores that we were talking about.
Yeah, she placed in JV conference.
Yes,
In a couple of
she's
events.
coming to state as an alternate.
She's very excited.
Helps her basketball game, most importantly.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Because basketball is so much more fun than track.
Yeah, wait, didn't you talk about like not running basketball? You just
Yeah, basketball is
Yeah.
back and forth, back and forth,
Yeah.
back and forth,
Yeah,
back and
there's
forth.
tons of fun. There's like
It is.
there's a carrot at the end of the stick. I don't know. Track, I don't know.
I played 1 year, hated it.
Yeah.
Hated
I
it.
think it's the most beautiful game in the world, but that's been
Hey,
established.
I'm with you.
That's been established. That's been established.
I respect the good game of basketball.
My bias for basketball is well documented on this cast. It is.
We had
Yep.
a game of basketball the night before conference.
Okay, yeah, yeah. We'll ignore that. That was a mistake. No, that was before county.
Oh my bad.
Yeah, before county, the night before I played basketball, and then my legs were a little sore.
You never catch Michael Atkins doing that.
Never,
Yeah.
never catch Michael Atkins playing
That's very
basketball
true.
before a track meet.
Do you guys kind of want to go into the whole thing of like heats and lane numbers? Like, do you guys have preferences? I'm more talking. to you
I
guys,
love
'cause you're-
heat.
Yeah.
I love lane 4.
So you actually get assigned it's based on your time. So the best is in lane 4, then second is like in lane 5, and so
And then goes lane 3.
It's like
and then lane
you want to be
6
in
and
lane
then
4.
2.
But if you're on the outside, like there's no one to catch because you're like on the outside of the track. You're staying.
So everybody's
There's
chasing
goods and
you.
bads to both lanes
Yeah.
though, because like lane 8, you won't have anyone to chase, but you're running less of a tight curve, so it's like it's a little easier.
And you're 0.05 seconds faster the further you
Yeah.
like automatically.
Yeah.
Physics,
Yeah, so it kind of depends. Obviously, lane 4 is ideal though. That's what we always want to have.
But for state, I'm in lane 8 for 300 hurdles, and then we're lane 8.
We're in
4x1.
3, 7, and 8
Yeah.
are all our different relays.
Yeah.
Start in the front and end in the front, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I run a whole lap in lane 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do flights work?
So flights are basically just another way of heats. They call it that because they want to sound special. But basically, it goes like least farthest distance to like farthest. So the last person to go will be the farthest, and then sometimes they have like finals, which will be top 9 overall. But that's a little complicated. So I personally like being at the end because if you're in the beginning, it's like stressful to watch everyone else go, and then you're like waiting for them to see if they beat what you did. But if you're at the end, you already know, like if it's your last throw, you already know what you need to beat. So that's why I like being at the end because like no one else has an opportunity after me. So what about you? How does it work?
Vaulting is a little different because it's the same, or it's just like they can do flights. Usually it's just one continuous thing, and you start at, let's say, 8 feet, just the starting height, and you can jump 8 feet if you want. You get 3 attempts at every bar. If you get over, then you get a new 3 attempts at the next height. And here's the thing: you don't have to come in at 8 feet. You can start jumping whenever you want. The bar will just keep moving up, and so. In theory, you'd like, I'll just start higher, jump over 1 bar and win, right? The issue with that is if you knock a bar down 3 times if you don't clear a bar, if you get out before you clear a bar, height, and then that puts you below 8 feet. And shout out Batavia because they no, I feel bad saying that.
You
Don't say it. Don't feel bad.
You gotta say it.
Batavia has a very good pole vaulter. He jumps 15 feet 5 inches. Like he's incredible. Yeah, I think he holds their school record. But at conference last week, he came in at 14'2" and he missed all 3 heights, so he lost.
Oh, wow.
So
And they still won.
it was brutal. I feel bad. Shout out Batavia.
A similar thing happened in throwing actually. We had a kid, he's really good. He's ranked like 5th in state. So one thing for our conferences for like 3A, the number 3, 4, 5, and 6 in state are all in our conference, and I'm 6th, so I was seated like 4th in that meet. But the number, I think he's like 4, I think 4 in state. He had just like sometimes you can just have like a really bad day. He stepped out of the ring, which like automatically is a scratch. So like when you're spinning, if you step out before the throw's done, it's an automatic scratch. So he stepped out like 5 out of his 6 attempts, and on his 6th one, he got like 7 feet under what his normal like throw would be, and he ended up getting like 4th or 5th, and I ended up getting 3rd instead. So it's like a lot of precision, like just like pole vaulting, like we were saying.
Now, when taking into account heats and flights, how do they determine that? Like, I know your throw or distance you throw or time you run varies meet to meet. Is it average time over all your meets, or is it just your best time or distance?
It's
Counts for your.
They just use your best.
Yeah, but a lot of coaches lie actually.
Yeah.
To get you
Yeah.
into a better like a lane.
Lane.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
We've had that happen like indoor where we had coaches lie for an indoor meet, and so we got placed in the slow heat, and we ended up
it's kind
winning
of
the
an
whole
honor
thing.
system, and so it's kind of frustrating when you end up being in like an outside lane because
Or a different
Another
section.
Or a different section.
Yeah.
So like we were running against like slower teams.
Yeah, there
Luckily
have
we pulled the win.
there have been a few times where we ran like the slower heat, but then suddenly the times are not accurate.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. Culpepper's notorious for doing that. And I mean, it works. He's a coaching genius. I don't know how to put it. Some of the things he says I don't understand, but it always seems to work. And so sometimes he'll put in a very fast time to get someone who's slower into a faster heat, and then in turn they run better usually. So
He knows all the buttons to push.
I couldn't explain it, but he knows what he's doing. I'll tell you that.
So you mentioned the Batavia guy held the school record, and then we were talking about Piper with the school record, or it was the relay with the school
Yeah.
record. Sorry. Are there any other? Do you still hold the freshman record?
I do. That's kind of just me like picking straws. But
No, I know.
I do indeed hold the freshman Wheaton Warrenville South pole vault
Is that
record.
in your Instagram bio or anything?
I should
Yeah.
put it there. That's a huge flex.
And then how far are you up of? You were a couple.
You're
you
close.
were,
Okay, so there's a little bit of contention. So like we have this online system. It's like athletic.net, and it has everything backed up from like whenever Wheaton Warrenville South was Wheaton Warrenville South. And then there's when we were Wheaton Central. So there's a record from Wheaton Central in like 1978 from this dude. His name was like Tom Fewigger. He threw like 58 feet 3 inches or something. I'm at. Is it actually?
It's a relative.
It's I think
Oh.
it's her uncle.
I mean, who else would
pretty
be?
sure it's
Who else
wrong.
has that last name?
It might be
yeah,
her
true.
uncle.
But he threw like 58 feet, like 2 inches, and I'm right now at 57, so I have 2 more. And then, but from 1978 to now, whenever Wheaton Warrenville South, I would hold the school record. So
Wow.
So you hold the Wheaton Warrenville South.
Yeah.
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 yes,
For sure.
Any others for you, or just the 4x1?
We have
4x2 is really close.
we have an indoor school record in the 4x2. That doesn't really. That
Oh,
doesn't really
yeah, we
count,
do.
But we're very close to a 4x2 school record, like 0.6 of a second. So, knock on wood, it's still.
Knock on wood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
And we're gonna break
up,
our school record.
You bring up indoor. What do you prefer? Indoor or
Outdoor.
Outdoor.
Indoor's just a warm up for outdoor.
Oh,
I am a diehard indoor fan.
Ooh.
same.
Well, so I have a reason. I understand why runners, like people who actually run during track and field, like outdoor better because it's better to run outside. The indoor track sucks and it's hot and it's sweaty in there, and it's very
You
tight
can't wear
turns.
spikes.
Exactly, you can't wear spikes.
It's very
But-
slippery.
If you're vaulting
I
indoors,
get that.
Oh.
no wind, no rain,
No sun.
no sun,
nice.
beautiful.
Nothing.
But what more could you want, right?
I get that.
It's kind of the same with throwing. I mean, I think a lot of field events would like indoor better. I like indoor better just because it's this is a bad reason. It's fun to watch people scramble to like shag for the balls. So there'll be like the throwing ring, and then there'll be a huge or a pretty big space, and there'll be like usually boards at the back so people don't go over, and then it will roll onto the track. So whenever I'm at a meet indoor, I just like try to aim for the track and see what happens. So there's been like a few times, one of our indoor home meets, I almost hit someone on the track, which I don't actually want to hit someone. It's just a goal, I want to throw as like far as possible. But as well as indoor, it's easier to spin in the shoes. I mean, sometimes it can get dusty and you can slip, but it's easier to spin and you don't have to worry about the elements. So that's why I like indoor better.
Okay, I got one final question. This just came to me. How do you guys feel about them getting a new track right after you guys leave?
I'm
Okay.
so excited.
I'm very excited for them.
I'm excited for them. The track did what it needed to do for us, and so I'm glad that now they're gonna get a super awesome new one.
That doesn't
It's
have
gonna
the
look so
spray
cool.
paint.
Yeah, it's gonna be fresh, and I think they're gonna have like the exchange zones are gonna be a different color, is what I've heard.
Like bright
Which would be
orange
really
or something
cool.
like that, like stuff like that.
So it'll just make it look really nice.
Yeah, doesn't really matter to us.
It's still a nice track. It's
Yeah.
just, everything's just.
I wish they would use some of the money that they're gonna spend on the track for the throwing facilities. We're like in the back corner. We have like 3 like they're known as like bad rings right
They
now.
are bad.
Right now we have a tree overhanging the shot put ring, and if you throw too high, you'll hit the tree. So and we're not allowed to cut it down because it's park district property. So maybe if they spent a little bit of money like trying to improve our area, and then also got a new track, that would be nice for the runners. So
Hey, that's home court advantage, though. Use
Yeah,
the tree to your advantage.
not if I'm hitting the tree too.
Well, that's what.
Just tell everybody to hit the tree.
I would like to complain because we got a new vaulting pit like a couple years ago, but then I went over it because it wasn't long enough. So
In warm-ups.
in warm-ups, it wasn't even during a real meet, and now I'm missing some hair.
Do you guys want? I feel like you're easier, and then Zach, I feel like I know your answer. But what's favorite event?
Mine's the 400 or the 4x4, just because like you actually have time to like mentally think about your race while you're in it, and like if you get a PR, it's like because you worked for it. Like 100, like that's just like talent and speed, but a 400, you can like change the outcome of your race based on how you think about it.
I am either 200 or 400. For the same reason with the 400, I just like that you can stretch out and it's more mental as opposed to just like pure speed. I like the mental part of it, and then 200 is a little more mental, but mostly speed. I like them both though. I probably could pick between them.
Definitely 300 hurdles. I just think they're so fun, and it's like my coach always says it's like this is when you find out the difference between being a girl and a woman, because it's like it's a hard race. Like it's a really hard race. 'Cause it's 300 meters and there's 8 low hurdles, but I love it. I love like when you come around to the last like 100 meters and everybody's like screaming because you run by like the stands, and like that's when you can like really like push yourself, and like I think it's fun. It's really tiring though.
I mean, out of the 2 events I do, I'm better at shot put, but recently I've been enjoying discus more. Just because with shot put, it's a lot of like muscle. Like you can see some of the best guys in the state, like they don't have that good form or like technique, but they can just muscle it out there and like win every time. But discus is a lot more finesse and like speed. And the reason I like discus is because it's more unpredictable. Like if you have a good day, like good headwinds, which you want, and then you want like get some good speed behind it, you could have like a 20, like 30-foot PR out of nowhere if you just like get the right angle. Where shot put, it's gonna be like you're getting inches every time. Like a few meets, I'll PR by an inch and be happy. So discus for sure.
Yeah, that's what happened at sectionals. We had a girl PR 12 feet.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
qualify.
I'm gonna also say discus. Oh, I did pick up throwing a little bit this year just for fun. And I actually really enjoyed discus, but no, the greatest sport in the world is pole vaulting, and I stand by that.
That's a hot take right there, Luke.
What, better than basketball?
Wow.
Whatever.
Don't disrespect the Dwayne Wade
Yeah,
jerseys in the
exactly.
back.
Chi-town right there.
Flash.
You guys, Mr. B, you got anything for these guys?
I'm good. No, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for dealing with my criticisms, my heavy criticisms of your sport. But yeah, all joking aside, big fan of Coach Harvey, big fan of Coach Culpepper. Think very highly of them, and I think very highly of you guys. Go win a state championship. All right, that'd be
Sounds
great.
good.
That'd be
You
great.
guys got any shout outs you want to say to your team, coaches? Nothing?
Well, this is our my hurdle coach. This is his 50th year.
Jana's saying, shout out Jana.
Oh,
Wait.
okay.
Let me turn the camera to her.
Jana.
Hi,
we go.
Jana.
Since you stayed, you get a shout out. But yeah, no, our coaches are great. We love them all.
Yeah.
True. Could not have done it without them.
Come back to me. Give me like 10 seconds.
Yeah, I'll shout out. I'll shout out Brock Joyce because he has made the past 4 years bearable. I will say that.
I'll shout out Sean Archer because like he joined when he was a sophomore and he's really been working hard these past few weeks and like whenever he's been on the track team and he makes it a lot more fun dealing with the exotic group of throwers. Very colorful people. Makes it bearable. So yeah, I'll shout them out.
Fair enough. I didn't forget to do this with you guys for tennis, but since senior year is coming to an end, you want to tell us where you're going, what you're planning on doing in the fall or the summer, whenever you guys start.
I'm going to the University of Minnesota, and I'm going to do finance and sustainability.
I'm going to Baylor, and I'm majoring in nursing.
I'm going to Indiana Wesleyan to run track and major in nursing also.
I'm going to the University of Illinois and I'm majoring in business, but I'm also gonna try and walk on the track team if I can.
And I'm going to BYU in Utah, and I will be majoring in psychology, and I'm in the same boat as Zach. We'll see if I can pull something out.
Well, best of luck to all of you. Carter, you want to tell us? We're going back to yesterday.
Oh,
Carter's
okay.
your guest. You want to tell us where you're going?
Yeah, I'm going to Indiana just for business. So.
There we go.
Yeah.
Congratulations to all of you, and best of luck.
How about you? Have you
Yeah.
told
Yeah,
them?
yeah,
You told
yeah.
people?
We'll wait a couple episodes.
We can't tell them it's Sam.
It's
Not
a
yet,
secret.
Not yet. Yeah.
Waiting on that GT.
Well, yeah, I'm on wait list, but we'll see. Best of luck for you guys this weekend, and for you guys at sectionals, and then again, hopefully for both of you guys. Stay.
Yeah, thanks for having us on.
Yeah,
For
thank
sure.
you.
A lot of personality you guys showed.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
All right, go Tigers.
Go Tigers!
Yeah.
Tigers!